Hi, it's Dan, the real estate guy, coming to you from my home office once again with a short video on what we call bread and butter properties. You already heard me mention this term in previous videos with a brief explanation, but let's go a little bit more into that because it may be key to your success to provide the market with what it wants. You know, if you buy a home and you think you got a great deal on it and you go to put it on the market and it's not really what the market wants, you could sit around for a while and have more carrying costs and perhaps not get it sold in the timely manner that you were hoping for. This could hold you up if you're a beginner and can only do a few transactions at a time, or you need to wait for that one to close escrow to go do the next one. It'll hold you up. It'll hold you up even if you're doing multiple transactions. It'll hold up your track record. Remember, it's important to build a good track record of success if you're going to attract more money partners and folks that can help you in your business. All right? So let's talk about those bread and butter properties and how you can determine in your area, what are they? In my area, I like to think of it as 3-bedroom, 2-bath or bigger. Sure, I'll take a chance on a 2-bedroom, 1-bath once in a while. I might do a big home once in a while, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. But the bread and butter is 3-bedroom, 2-bath. In my area, probably between 1,600 feet down to 1,200 square foot. You could probably even take that up to 2,000 square foot in today's market with the lower prices. Prices have really come down, 50 to 60% in some areas, putting a little bit bigger home within reach of some of that 50% of the market. See, I like to think of it as, what does 50% of the market want? I sure would like to provide that product versus maybe a part of the market. And I do this because I have volume. I might have a big home on the market once in a while that perhaps is only 10 to 15% of the marketplace. But I'm taking that risk because I'm already providing the bread and butter properties. If you're a beginner or intermediate, you're only doing a few deals, why not make them all right in the bread and butter area? Why not make them all desirable properties that 50% of the market may want to buy? All right, that's very important. So think about that. Learn that. In your homework from the previous blocks, you were to get out in the field, talk to realtors. If you're not a realtor, you're making contacts with realtors. You're looking at comparable sales. Try to learn where this product is because that's where you want to buy. These properties are normally going to be, like I said, probably 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and 2-car garage or better. They sometimes will have a 3-car garage, sometimes have 4 bedrooms. I think in today's world, a lot of folks like to work from home, so having 4 bedrooms is kind of neat. But 3-2 or better, 2-car garage or better, and average lot size or better. In my area, most of the tract areas probably have lot sizes of around 0.3 of an acre up to 0.18, so 0.13 to 0.18 on the acreage size is about average. Nothing wrong with a little bit bigger lot. Larger lots are hard to get, and some folks will pay just a touch more for those, or in a tough market, you'll get the same price, but people will be after your property because the lot's just a little bit bigger. Kind of rate these areas. My driver, person drives a lot of these properties for me as my oldest son, and he rates them. When he says this area is a 6 or this area is a 7, I have a good feel for what that is. So if you develop your own rating system, that would be very helpful as well. Usually these desirable areas are near shopping, they're near transportation, maybe easy access to freeways to get to the most areas that have jobs. In my area it's jumping on either Highway 50, Highway 80 to get towards downtown. These little subdivisions that are not too far from the freeway are desirable for the folks that need to get up every morning and jump on that freeway. So usually within a mile, a few minutes to the freeway systems. Now, if it turns out there's lots of product available for you to buy, now you can even narrow it down a little bit, and within those categories, within those areas, pick the ones that will probably be less trouble for you. For example, age. Maybe you've got lots of desirable areas, but some are built in the 50s or 60s, where others were built in 1990 through 2005. You're going to have less surprises on your fix-up. You'll probably see that on the fix-up video. You're going to have less surprises on the newer construction in many cases. The older construction, nothing wrong with it. Some of our most desirable areas are in older areas. People like those homes. But understand what to look for in your inspection to make sure you're not buying a problem. One example would be foundations. We have areas that have brick and mortar foundations that are very, very old, and I just have my driver check because the brick and mortar over time the mortar can come out. I've had to jack properties up and put foundations under them. But I knew that going in. It's a lot of money, takes a lot of time, so you have to watch out for that. Next would be the raised foundations. You know, the property sitting on a raised foundation is very popular in some parts of the country and certain age groups. The plus to that is you can move things around. You can do your plumbing and do all the things underneath. You can move it around if you need to change anything, add a half bath or a full bathroom, for example. You can do those changes. But you want to take a good look at that because you can also have rotten wood under there and things that need to be replaced. So take a good look at that. The next would be the concrete slab. We just have less trouble when we buy a property that's been built on a concrete slab. So within your bread and butter properties, now you can begin to break it down to the less trouble, the most desirable, the easiest to fix up. You're getting an idea here that you're trying to buy a property for less than its market value, wholesale. That's what it's all about. So that you can do your fix up and provide that property turnkey, great condition, on the market, and be the best product at the best price, and you're in a desirable area. You have a bread and butter property that people want. That's how you succeed in buying and selling real estate. Even if you're buying to hold, you'll learn which are the most desirable areas to hold properties where you can get the best tenants. Same idea, you can get a feel for what does the average renter look for. Are they also looking for that 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage or better on an average sized lot in a good desirable area? Probably. So that's what you want to provide, not something outside of that window because you're going to have a hard time getting it rented. Now, if you're advanced or intermediate and you're already pretty good at this stuff and you're just gathering more tips and techniques and getting even better, and you feel you've got a good handle on providing the bread and butter single family homes, you might want to go into subcategories like I've done. It's taken me a long time over the years, but I have a wide game. Right now on the board I see a 4-unit, I see some duplexes, I see quite a few condominiums. So maybe within your area, if there's lots of desirable condominiums, for example, learn which are the best ones. Where do people want to go? What have the best floor plans? I like to do what I call significant condos. You can see that in the condominium video, but I like the ones that are a little bit bigger. And I like them when they have a garage. A lot of them don't have garages. So you can also become an expert in providing that product. You know, find out what's going on there. All right, same thing with duplexes. We have a lot of areas that have pretty ugly duplexes, and then you have areas that are pretty desirable. So you need to learn what kind are best. So now you're providing the bread and butter property for different categories, not just single family home. But remember, if you're starting off, I would say stick with the single family homes. Now, the next thing you may notice throughout my videos is that I like to use numbers. Right? I'm a licensed realtor. I have multiple listing. I use that. If you're not licensed and you don't have access to multiple listing, you probably do. You just need to take a look. There's public access now to many multiple listing services. So check out for your area what may work. All right? I like to look at my numbers on a regular basis. Right now, for example, I know there's 8,420 homes active in my marketplace, meaning they're on the market. There's 4,600 of those, of the 8,420, 4,606 or 55% are active short sales. You'll have to look at the short sale video to learn more about that and the trials and tribulations of buying a short sale. Right now I also know there's 2,519 pending sales. That's a good number. I know that our market is still there. You know, in the 90s the number of closed transactions, for example, per month dropped one time all the way down to 264 in my whole entire county. That's pretty rough. In the last 30 days there's been almost 1,400 closings in Sacramento County. So there's still a market, but I know that's dropping off. Just a few months ago it was averaging probably 1,700 closings per month, and over a year ago closer to 2,000, 1,800 to 2,000. In our hottest market, it was about 2,200 closings per month. These are numbers that you need to learn. But how does that relate to the bread and butter properties? Let's take a look at that. I look at what's closed in the last 6 months. These are people who actually bought homes. They voted with their dollars. All right, they bought a home. In my area, in the last 6 months, there's been 10,134 homes close escrow. That's about 1,689 properties per month. We just mentioned in the last 30 days we're at 1,400, so it is dropping a little bit. It won't really get my attention or make me nervous unless it drops, say, below 800. Even if it's 1,000 closings a month or even 800 closings a month, I'm just trying to be 2, 3, or 4 of those. I'm not trying to be the whole market. So that's why I need to provide bread and butter properties. If 50% of a market wants my product, they're in that price range, they're in that type of property, that's what they want, I have a good chance to be that 1, 2, or 3 sales a month with my systems. All right? So let's take a look at that 10,000 properties that's closed in the last 6 months. What's bread and butter on that? If I ask the computer, how many of those were 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and 1,200 to say 2,000 square feet? The answer was about 4,370 of them, or about 50%. All right? Right in there, a little bit less than 50% in that case, actually 43%. All right? So that's a good number. I'm saying, okay, if I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage or better, if it's between 1,200 and say it's 2,000 square feet, I have a pretty good chance of being one of the next sales if I provide a good product at a good price. So let's take a look at price. Right now, of the 10,134 that closed in the last 6 months, 5,000 of them, approximately 50%, 5,000 of those were between $125,000 asking price up to $280,000 asking price. 50%. So if I'm between 125 and 279.9, I'm probably in that group of what the 50% of the market wants. Furthermore, if I'm that 3-bedroom, 2-bath in that 1,200 to 2,000 square foot range, probably I'm going to get my house sold. Very, very important. You see how this works? For example, if I check the computer then, okay, how about who paid, what percentage of the market paid $281,000 up to $500,000? It came out to only 1,300 of those homes. 1,300 of 10,000. All right? That's 13%. Would I provide a product in that category? Yes, if it's probably a super desirable area and if it's not the only home I'm trying to sell. If it's the only home you're trying to sell, buy and sell, you're taking a big risk in a big price range and only 10% to 13% of the market wants what you have. I have one of those right now. It's just sitting on the market. It had an offer, but it was low, and I had to reduce the price again. You see, I try to provide the 50% of that crowd what they want. But I'll take a chance higher and I'll take a chance lower. I'll take a chance on the 2-bedroom, 1-bath. I just bought one last week. If I think that there's a market for it and I think I can sell it. Remember, I only need one buyer. But I want my pipeline, so to speak, or my system, I want these properties moving through. So to keep it moving, I'm going to be as many as I can in the bread and butter range. Very, very important. But you as a beginner, you probably only want to do the bread and butter range. I'm going to provide some duplexes, I'm going to provide some condos, I'm going to provide a big home now and then, or a small home now and then, but I've got the core going. I've got my system working with the bread and butter properties. And that's what you're after. So think about that, find out in your area, that would be your homework. Determine what's your bread and butter. Determine what 50% of the market wants. All right? Break it into neighborhoods. Know those neighborhoods. Know the values. And then go after some transactions that you can get low enough that you can provide that after it's fixed up and sharp and on the market. Provide that 50% of the market with what they want. That's how you earn a profit in this business. Is you're supplying a product to a market. You're figuring out what they want. Now you're going to go ahead and provide that. You need to buy it low enough so that when you calculate all your cost and you sell that property for its fair market value, you create a win-win transaction. The seller is happy, the buyer's happy, everyone's happy, your contractor's happy, your escrow company, everybody's winning when you do well. So think about bread and butter, how it applies to your business, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.